Welcome to the Vault Studios NFL podcast, an Australian twist on all things NFL. The boys are cracking into a nice cold beer from Burnley Brewing. Let's join them.
Hello and welcome to the Vault Studios NFL podcast. I'm your host, Richie JA. Sitting across the Zoom screen from me is my co-host, James Arthur. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, Richard. I'm very well. It's been a good weekend of football all round for the Ranger boys and the NFL.
Well, not so much for me for the NFL, but
no,
Ranger boys was good.
I can promise you my 34-year-old body is feeling every fucking bit of the first football game of the season right now. So if you're watching on YouTube and you think, "Oh shit, Jay looks like shit," correct. I look exactly how I feel, battered and bruised. I can barely turn my head. But you know what? Dubs are dubs, Richie. Dubs are dubs.
Sure are. Winning's winning.
Winning cures everything. That's my motto.
No style points in football.
Unfortunately not. No one will remember how much you win by or how you won later in the year, or that the refs gave you the game, according to some players. They gave it to you. They let us run for 7 yards a clip. They were just like, Rangers, have 7 yards a clip. Here you go. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I'll quickly mention our amazing, beautiful sponsors, starting with US Sports Gear. Richie, are gloves in stock? I believe they are.
Receiver gloves are, hybrid linebacker gloves and running back gloves are. We expect O-lineman gloves. Hopefully, I'm praying FedEx. They arrive this week, but we'll have to wait and see. Brand new lineman gloves.
I'm excited to see them. I've got the hybrid gloves. They are really good. I really like them. As a center, you can still wear them and snap. They're really good. So get around them. You've also got the shop now, Richie, by appointment only. So you can come and try on and make sure your size is right if you're in Victoria, obviously. So that's a big asset. If you don't know what size your head is and you're in Victoria, you can go and find the perfect helmet for yourself.
Absolutely.
So, thank you to our sponsors. And if you're anywhere else, head to www.ussportsgear.com.au and buy from there. And also our friends at Burnley Brewing. Thank you for your delicious beers. As always, let's do it, Richie.
I'm not saying that. You say it.
You're saying it.
I'm not. Cooper Rush as a filling quarterback is doing a solid job.
Cooper Rush is a dog. He a dog. He a dog, man. That motherfucker does win. He's 4-0. 4-0. Cooper Rush was adequate again in a good win by the Dallas Cowboys over, let's be really honest, the Washington Commanders are dog shit. They are fucking terrible. They cannot pass protect. They cannot run block. Got a couple of decent receivers, but all in all, the Dallas Cowboys defense was way too strong for Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is done. I don't think he's got another year left in him. I think no one will give him another job.
Nah, he'll be out of the NFL next year. But you've buried the lead.
Tell me.
The lead isn't Cooper Rush.
Who is it?
The commies, the uniform. What was that?
Dreadful.
That was disgusting. That was a worse clash than the Western Crusaders' new pants. This was horrible. Just horrible. You know what I think the worst part was? It's the W on the front of the helmet.
They're terrible.
What is this? They looked, I said they looked shit house. They were terrible.
I guess a club run by Dan Schneider is not the worst thing they've ever done, you know. But
no, you're right. It's not even close to the worst thing they've ever done.
Take the blatant racism and sexual misconduct out of it. It's probably the third thing. That's fair.
Who's this for? They're awful.
Yeah.
I thought you were playing the Steelers.
Yeah, that terrible uniforms. I actually was the first thing as I woke up at 4 a.m. Thank heavens it was 4 a.m. We get the extra hour now, which is nice. And turned it on. I was like, what the fuck are Washington wearing? Literally was the first thing I said. And Sophie said, shut the fuck up. I don't care what Washington wearing. It's 3 and 4. I was like, fair, but also look at these uniforms. And she agreed with me immediately.
It's so strange. Like, I get, like on Thursday night, you had the all white that
I used to love the color rush.
Cincinnati did. I thought that was really cool. The fans got into it too.
Unpopular opinion.
I could take it or leave it. But these were awful. Anyway, we should be talking about Cooper Rush. So I think it's time to trade Dak, get a few first rounders, moving on.
Definitely not, because the real hero of the Dallas Cowboys season isn't like Cooper Rush has been very good, but the Cowboys defense, Dan Quinn will be a head coach next year, and I hope it's at
I
the
think
Cowboys.
so too.
I hope it's at the Cowboys. That's my only hope, because what he has done with that group is unbelievable. Now, Micah Parsons is an outstanding player, but it's not just him. Like, Lawrence is back. He's back well and truly. Leighton Vander Esch is all of a sudden a 3-down linebacker, and he's doing very well at it. Like, is he the best in the league? Is he, Warner or who's the one from LA now that was at Seattle for years? Wagner? Is he those guys? No, but he's probably a tier down or maybe 2 tiers down. But he's solid as a rock, plays the run, plays the passing game. The biggest guy for me that's taken the biggest jump, which I'm a bit surprised by, is Trayvon Diggs. Because not only is it's weird to say that a guy who had 11 interceptions last year has taken a jump, but his coverage ability has shot through the roof. He's not giving up big plays. He's been
That's his biggest problem last year. Yes, he had all those picks. It's because they were going after him, because he also had a huge tendency to give up touchdowns.
Yes, and now they're going after him. He had an interception today. It was just before the half. It was a one-on-one with McLaurin, which is a tough one-on-one. He tracked him, made a play on the ball, and then later in the game, 2 4th downs in the fourth quarter. He deflected one in the end zone and deflected a really good throw by Wentz where he just got his hands on it late in the game as well. If that's a touchdown, they're back in that game, but he deflects the play, and he's playing on McLaurin, who's not a bad player at all. So that's been the difference. Like guys like Odigizui, the D tackle, great name, but he's been really good inside. Their run stuffing's been better. Now, are Washington great? No. And New York great? No. But you're playing. We always say when you lose your starting quarterback, you're in trouble. You're in real trouble. The fact that they've gone 3 wins without him, I don't think they bring Prescott back for the Eagles. I think that would be stupid. Let the Eagles beat Cooper Rush if that's the case. Who cares?
Yeah.
Bring him back when he's well and truly ready, because you lose to the Eagles, you come out of that stretch 3-2. I think you can live with that. So well done. And also, this kills me to say this, but well done to Mike McCarthy. He's found a way to win. He's found a way to motivate his guys. CeeDee Lamb's been good. Zeke's been really good. He's running the ball really hard against, backup offensive linemen. Like I said, they're beating crappy teams, but they're showing that they're a better team than what I thought they were, because I thought they were going to lose the next 3. I thought they'd be 0-4. So I guess they're doing.
You can't go losing. You can't go losing to crappy teams.
No.
Your season will be over before you know it.
And the NFL doesn't really have crappy teams, as we see every week. They're a good team. Most teams have got good football players on them, especially early before injuries and that start happening. They're all pretty good.
If you look at the standings right now, who's the worst team in the league?
Detroit.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bears.
Bears are pretty bad, but they're 2-2. Washington are very bad. Carolina are very bad. We'll come to them later. Pittsburgh.
This is what I mean, though.
Hey,
we're saying these teams. Oh, actually, you know what? Pittsburgh might be Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh fucking suck, man. They suck. I'm really sorry, but they suck. Let's move on to a team that's not bad. The team might be bad, but I don't think the quarterback is, and that's Zach Wilson. And after watching him today, I've just got this little bit of a feeling that he might be the man there. I think they've found one. I think they've found him. I don't know. He just made some really nice plays. They ran the Philly special, which was cool. He did the worst gritty I've ever seen. But he's playing well. He was safe with the ball. I don't know. I haven't even looked at his stats yet. I don't even know if he had a lot of yards. All I know is I watched that game and I left it, much like Lawrence this season, I left it going, yeah, this dude can ball. He can play. Like, he can play a bit. He's got a future in the NFL. He's going to be a starting quarterback. Now, how good he's going to be, we'll see in the next few, maybe season or 2. But I think he could definitely be a serviceable starter for them, and they can start building around him properly.
Well, he did have 2 picks today, as well as the one touchdown and received for a touchdown. Look, he's not the biggest problem there. I think that's the fairest thing to say.
Yeah.
He's not the kind of QB who's ever going to pick up the entire team and carry them on their back, or you look at it and go, well, it doesn't matter who's around them. They will carry them because they're that good. He's never going to be in that class, but he's not their biggest concern.
No,
The biggest
no.
concern is they're chewing up his rookie deal.
With
They
crappy
better get better quick, or it's not going to matter if he's the guy because he'll be bearing down on a 5th-year option, and they won't know whether to execute it or not.
And we saw another rookie today. Kenny Pickett came in for Pittsburgh, went 10 of 13, 120 yards, but he threw 3 interceptions. So his 3 incompletions were all interceptions. Wasn't pretty, but I also, again, you've got more chance winning with him than you do with, at least he throws the ball. Trubisky just never throws it. And if he does, it's inaccurate. It's so inaccurate, you can't even pick him off.
Yeah, it's almost the perfect spot where we picked it halfway through game 4. Like, how many times do we see there's a rookie quarterback sitting there and there's an incumbent, well, not an incumbent even, just an experienced QB ahead of them. Like, I wonder when they'll get the hook. About week 4? Like, the guess is always around week 4. We used to look for their bye, but now the byes don't come so early. But this is no surprise. He'll start next week. He'll throw 3, even though he threw all those picks, he's still going to start next week. He's now the starter for the rest of the year.
He brought him some energy. That's what I noticed. When he came in, the energy went up and they started doing things. Now, the turnovers sucked, but they started doing things. So
if you're a quarterback if you're a receiver or whatever in that group, and you're in the huddle, and you look at Trubisky, you're like, we're going nowhere. Like, what am I even doing? I'm busting my ass to get downfield and get open, and I know it's not coming, or it's one hopping me, or whatever. You just have no faith. At least with the kid, you're like, all right, like, let's go.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens dropping another big lead to lose. Drops them to 2-2. Take first halves this year, the Ravens are the best team in the league. You take 2 second halves and they look like shit. Tough though. Bills are a very good football team, and Josh Allen, it wasn't pretty, but as we said earlier, sometimes the wins don't need to be pretty. They just need to be wins. And I think the good teams find ways to win when things don't go their way. And I think that's what Josh Allen did today. I think defense were outstanding in the second half. I think the Ravens got a bit too cute for themselves in the second half. They go away from what they did well in the first half. And this one was a bit different because against the Dolphins, the defense just gave up tons and tons of points. The offense still actually scored a couple of times in the second half. So in this one, they didn't do anything in the second half. They completely shut Lamar down. They shut the running game down. There's some offensive line issues for the Ravens, which the Bills did a good job of exposing. But all in all, it came down to who could make plays late in the game. And it was Josh Allen. It was Josh Allen running with the ball and breaking tackles and getting first downs.
It was also, we always talk about how conservative NFL coaches always were. And then a handful came in and were aggressive and going for it. Now we've gone too far the other way. Jim Harbaugh's got to kick some field goals.
Yeah.
Like, what do you go for, 2 of them? Like, I feel like it was 2. I wasn't totally drilled in, but I knew it was definitely 1. I felt like it was 2. Sometimes you just got to kick that field goal, man. Like, especially when the other one results in an interception.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's 4th down, but still, it just
You're right though. It has gone the other way. Everyone's just, it's like everyone wants to have the biggest balls. Like the key is to do it at the right time. That's the key. And a lot of teams don't. Like, I can't remember who it was today. I saw them go for a 4th and 5 when they were in field goal range. I was like, why?
And they were trailing.
It was early. I think it was 0-0. I was like,
take the points. Yeah, see,
why are you just taking 3? And
they
didn't get it.
If you're looking to bury a team.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get it if you're looking to bury a team or you're coming back or whatever, but points are points. It's the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. Take easy field goals. But this was a really good game. So I was watching on Red Zone, so I didn't get all of it. But it was a really good game. Josh Allen, this was almost more impressive than his dominant win over the Rams in week 1. Like, this is the sort of stuff because this is what playoff games are going to be like. That's what they're like. They're tight, and you have to make plays in the right moment. And he did today. He made some really, really good plays. Plays where you were like, this is a turnover. His 4th down. They're going to tackle him for a loss here, and he just broke a tackle and ran through a guy for 2 yards, but it was a big 2 yards to get the first down. So it was nice. You want to talk Eagles? I mean, you talk. I don't want to. Have fun.
Good for them.
Fuck 'em.
Obviously, today was just torrential.
The monsoon.
Yeah, fair word for it.
Yeah.
And this is one of those ones where when you get games and conditions like this, no matter who you're playing, if you can just get out of there with the win, more power to you. Nothing else matters at this point. But look, they're a good team. I think the defense is third, but depending
Yeah,
on
it
what
is.
rankings, whatever you're using.
Yeah.
Like the offense is second. I'm almost sure of it.
They are
Um,
total yards.
and the thing that really impresses me is they don't have a they're generating turnovers. That's the big thing. Like they're a big play defense. Like they have to be plus 7 or something. Like at least what are we 8 games in? No, sorry, 4 games in. I feel like they're generating them constantly. So they're putting themselves in positions to win.
I'm
And
still just
that's
not.
what
I'm not
matters.
sold on Hurts. I'm just not
No,
sold.
me either. Anyone who's just talking about MVP, like get out of here. Like 4
The dumb
games.
thing is
Come on.
he might be if it can. Oh no, Mahomes would be right now anyway, or Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson. They've all been better than him.
Agree.
Comfortably better than him.
Look, it's but he is their answer. They're not looking around.
I agree.
Like,
he's
he
proved
could easily be a
their
top
guy.
10 for his entire career.
And time will tell this. Obviously, I just don't ever see him winning a Super Bowl. That style, I just don't see it. Like he's not a.
We didn't see Wentz winning a Super Bowl either, and he did.
And he would have, yeah. Well, he did.
So, when he been technically,
well, he didn't.
Nothing technical about it. He did.
He didn't play in it. Nick Foles.
I see what you're saying, but he was playing exceptional that year.
He was going to be the MVP, no doubt about it.
It can happen. It can happen. And I think if you're a Philly fan, enjoy the ride. Like this shouldn't be shocking people. Like I picked them to win the division. Plenty of other people did too. No one was going out on a limb here. They're a talented team with a very competent quarterback.
Yeah, and a good system around it. They run the ball well. You know what they are? They're strong on the offensive line and they're strong on the defensive line.
Yeah,
it's just such a recipe for winning.
Yeah, they got some crummy games coming up too. Like
they got a very easy schedule.
Real easy beats.
No, they made the playoffs last year. They were the wild card. I don't know. They're awful. On the Jaguars, just quickly though, I still have faith in them. They were right there today. Again, in crappy weather, they were right there. They just couldn't run the ball as well. That was the difference.
And the turnovers. All the turnovers.
They only had one. What was the?
Oh, you didn't think of her?
Oh,
3 picks today?
No, he only threw 1 pick.
Oh, I could have sworn he was turning it over like crazy today.
He had 1 interception. It must have been fumbles because they had 5 turnovers to 1.
Yeah. Maybe they weren't Lawrence's. I don't know why I had that in my mind, but
there was 3. There was three forced fumbles and an interception. I must have had something on the kickoff as well.
Win the turnover battle, you win the game. It is so rare to lose the turnover battle and win the game. Yeah. Maybe -1, you can get away with it, but hey, generate 4, 5, you're going to win the football game because at least 2 of them are going to be in good field position.
I think last year there was a team, I can't remember who it was, but a team lost. They had 5 turnovers to 1 and lost. It was the first team ever to do that, to have a 4+ turnover ratio and lose, which is so. If you get more turnovers, you get more drives, you get more chances to score. And if the closer they are, the more chance you get. Simple as that.
Short fields, yeah.
They're massive.
Hey, fly Eagles fly. Good for them.
How dare you? You shut your fucking mouth.
Hey, I'm still with my picks, mate.
We had a bit of fun about it, and then you got to full out the fly Eagles fly on my podcast. You know how I feel about it. Fucking Eagles. I like Devontae Smith though, just quietly. Like him.
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team. Good guy.
Good guy, is he? He's a good guy, is he? You know,
when I spoke to him to see he was healthy and everything good go this week, he chatted to me for ages. Yeah,
I guess on signing days you can find out if they're good guys or not. Let's talk Patriots and let's talk injuries. Hoyer went out in this game early. Bailey Zapp came in. He actually made a couple of good throws, but I think the touchdown he threw was a bit of luck. They kind of blew the coverage. It was a nice play call. This game really shouldn't have been as close to what it was. I'm starting to get just a little bit concerned with Green Bay. I don't know. I guess wins are
As you
wins.
should be.
I just don't think they're not playing that well.
Agreed, but you should not be in an overtime game with the New England Patriots.
I don't think New England
just
Patriots are
shouldn't.
good anymore. Look, don't get me wrong. Rodgers worked them out later. Like they worked them out as an offense. They found a way to attack them. They scored early and then they were like shut out for ages. So, you know, it got better as it went on, and certainly in overtime. I was one of those games where even when it went to overtime, I kind of thought there's no way like Packers are going to win this. Like their defense is going to make a play soon. But what I was more disappointed about was the way they kept letting the Patriots have long drives and scoring. It was the defense, because that's what's been so good about them. It was that was a disappointing part. Again, Packers win. They're 3-1. They're getting healthier. They get Sammy Watkins back next week. They've got their offensive line back intact now, which made a massive difference to protection. It looks like Romeo Dobbs or Doobs, however you say it, might be pretty handy. He got a really nice touchdown catch in the back of the end zone. Robert Tonyan was okay. Alan Lazard looks like he's probably the man there, the main guy. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to bet against him. I think they'll win the division because I don't think anyone else. Or maybe the Vikings. Who knows?
This game should never have been close.
There was a pick six.
Total yards, exactly. Total yards. Green Bay had nearly double. Passing yards, they had over double. You know, rushing yards, they had an extra 30 or something. Penalties even. Like, the Packers had way less. If it wasn't for this pick six,
I feel like I'm overreaching. I feel like it was just one of those games where the worst team hung in it for some reason.
It's one of those ones where the scoreboard didn't tell the tale of the game. And if you just looked at it, you'd be like, wow, overtime, teams played really well. But if you'd actually watched it, like, what is going on here?
I watched it and I always thought Green Bay were going to win. Like, I never had it in doubt. Like, Corey's going to die.
Yeah.
I never was in doubt they were going to win.
Yet it took till, 2 seconds left? It was a field goal with seconds on the clock to win it in overtime. I mean, if he'd missed it or bad snap or anything like that, it would have been a tie.
Yeah.
Dumb rule of
no dumb rule. Dumb coaching, right? And this is where who's it? Cousin Sal that always says you should get a 12-year-old kid that plays Madden to be your clock guy.
Yeah, I use that joke too. It's great.
So their last play, there was 37 seconds left when it finished. And they ran it down to 3 seconds and then called a timeout. It's not what you do. You got 37 seconds. You get your kicking team out there. You get them set up. The Patriots will probably call a timeout and ice you, which they did. But you get set up, and then you snap it at about 10 seconds. So if it's a bad snap, the holder literally grabs it, goes down on it because it's only second down, grabs the ball, goes down on it, or maybe tries to run forward for 2 or 3 yards, whatever, like just dive forward and get close as you can, call a timeout quickly, and then you got another chance. And it's very, very rare that there's going to be a snapping error twice. These guys are way too good players to do that sort of thing. It's just dumb coaching. Like, as soon as they went to the last play, I'm like, all right, kicking team, get out there. Said they're standing there running it down. I'm like, why? You're wasting. This is stupid. Like, this is dumb. You're leaving yourself nothing up your sleeve. Like, oh, you don't want to kick it off. You literally just kick it out of bounds and let them Hail Mary it. Like, I don't know. There's more of a chance that you're going to have a bad snap on the kick than you're going to get beaten with 5 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, and you can just squib it so the clock starts when a big fat guy picks it up.
And they have to bloody toss it backwards and muck around. Like, if you're worried about, I'd be more worried about a bad snap. But then again, they kicked it and they won, so it's really all that matters. Patriots. Have you seen Brian Hoyer? What's the injury? I didn't look yet. Head injury. So he might miss a week. Suffers a head injury, replaced. He was ruled out, so he could play next week. Either way, I don't think Brian Hoyer is anything to write home about either. I'm not confident. No one should be losing to the Patriots with Brian Hoyer or Bailey Zapp. So,
Stidham will be signed during the week.
You reckon? He'll be back?
I don't know. Where is he? I was just trying to crack a joke. Is he like on the couch or is he at a team? Hang on.
I think he's at the Texans.
Is he? He is he is at the Las Vegas Raiders. Might require a trade.
Well,
you know who's there.
Who?
Buddies.
Oh, Josh McSnakeshels. Old
That's why he's
Snaky.
there because he'll know the offense, and he could have taught it to Carr.
Yeah, Josh the Snake. Josh the Snake. Speaking of, oh no, this is the Titans. Wrong team. Titans got a win. Season's back on track. I was ready to put a fork in him 2 weeks ago.
I don't know what to do with the NFC South, AFC South. I just don't know what to do with it.
The bottom line is a shit team's going to lose.
It's all garbage. Yeah. They're
the
gonna
new
host a
NFC.
wild card team and get their doors blown off.
Yeah, they'll host like a Ravens or someone like wild card team. You know what I mean? Or the Dolphins, like Dolphins or Bills sort of thing. The top wild card team that are just going to fucking pants them because I don't think any of them are that good. The Colts are so disappointing. It's like they find a way to lose every week. It's something different. They're just so inconsistent that they consistently find a shitty way to lose. It annoys me.
The most important thing for them is I hope they've learned the lesson. Stop signing veterans. It hasn't worked. You got to go get a rookie.
Been that bad. It's hard to blame him. Carson Wentz was dog shit. He lost to like a 1-15 Jaguars team to lose. And he's been shit ass at everyone going, oh, they may as well have kept Wentz. Bah, wrong.
No.
Wrong.
That's wrong.
They shouldn't have. He was fucking terrible. What they need to do is just draft a young guy. Get Matt Ryan to come back next year and draft a young guy early. Early as you can.
The biggest thing here is, like, I made a joke at Matt Ryan, but mainly making a joke about old quarterbacks. He had hundreds. They had no running game today. Like, none at all. They were just throwing all the time. Now, the game did kind of dictate that to them because they fell 14 points behind at the drop of a hat. But still, it's still only the second quarter. You could have brought your way back into it. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this team.
I'm not sold on either of the teams. The Titans scored 14 points, one-off turnovers in the first quarter, and then looked fucking dreadful for the rest of the game. And the Colts looked like they were back in it late, and then for the whole last quarter couldn't do anything against a Titans defense that I don't think is very good. Do you know what the biggest changes on the Colts? Their offensive line's not good anymore. Nelson is.
It's amazing how fast that happened. Like, genuinely amazing how fast.
Well, because their left tackle retired, Costanza. That's George Costanza. I think it was like Constanza or something. But their left tackle retired. I'm going to get their stats up, like their Pro Football Focus up now. I think Nelson's been good, but not as good as he has been in the past, which is hard. Like, it's hard to be repeatedly dominant. Like, it's fucking difficult. Like, people think, oh, he's just going to be good every year. Like, maybe he's had a kid at home and he's not sleeping well. Like, I don't know. You don't know. But Nelson's been so. Kelly hasn't been great. Smith hasn't been great. They've got a rookie undrafted guy in Fries at right guard, and they've got Pryor at right tackle, who Matt Pryor, he was a 6th-round pick in 2018. Played at the Eagles, apparently, because I'm looking at his picture. I got no fucking clue who he is. And he's the 42nd rated tackle, left tackle in the league. I didn't even know 42 had played this year. That's how low he's rated. So, I said, Kelly and Nelson are still good, but like Nelson, he's the 9th ranked. So if you go from being the number 1 every single year and now you're 9th, like, it's a significant drop in play. So that's the difference. They're not running the ball as much. Teams are ready for them to want to run the ball. And Matt Ryan, they also don't have very good receiving group. Pittman hasn't really jumped up like they thought he would. Late season last year, he was outstanding.
I'm sure he's missed time as well. Like, he's been injured.
I think he only played one. I think he's played 2 of the 4 games, I think. So he's in and out. So I'm just, he only played week 1 and week 3. Yeah. So he didn't even play today. So, like,
then who the hell caught all those passes? Hang on.
It would have been Pierce.
Mo Alley Cox.
Mo Alley, big Mo. He's actually a decent tight end, but again, can't block. So, again, their strategy, it's kind of like the Titans. They're a very similar team. They're super reliant on running the ball, and when it doesn't work, they're fucked. But simple as that. And then there's not many overly talented guys on that team. Like, it's Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor. That's it. You know, there's no real, just genuine talents offensively for them to put up lots of points. And they're honestly unenjoyable to watch. This game was so boring to watch. So boring to watch. It's not fun. It's incompetent offense. So anyway, Richie, I'll get you to introduce the next segment. Anyone who's on YouTube right now has seen it.
Is Baker shit? Question mark.
Yes, he's shit. Oh, thank you for asking, Richie. So it turns out after 4 games, yeah, he's fucking shit. Can I go defensive mode on Baker for a second?
Well, sure, you put the headline up and then
All right.
shish kebabbed him, so sure, go ahead.
Find me a quarterback in the 4 years Matt Rule's been there that's been good.
Yeah, there are none.
So I know it's giving him a way out. He might be shit. Like he might be, but everyone's been shit there. Everyone. Cam Newton, Baker, Darnold. Who do they have? Like, do they have Teddy? Teddy Bridgewater was shit. Like everyone sucked there. So is Baker just another crap quarterback they've bought in, or like Mariota's even being having success? You can scheme
something
stuff.
again. Do you want to guess how many rushing attempts they had today? Don't look. I can see you looking. Don't look.
I'm not
Don't look.
looking.
Don't.
I reckon
You cheater.
9, 10, 11, 12. I reckon 13. Just
Yeah.
from my head.
13. Come on. And it's not like they were trailing. Like going into halftime, they were up 10-3. Yet you got 13 attempts.
Do I know a fun fact? Do you want me to tell you a fun fact about the running game of the Carolina Panthers?
It's bad.
McCaffrey's a fucking shit running back. Catching, I like him. He's terrible. He's a terrible running back. He doesn't find the hole. Like I know their own line's dog shit too, but it's like I guess it's just a composite of all of that running attack being crap. Their offense has really no what's the word? Like nothing dynamic. There's nothing different about it. They do the same thing all the time. They rely on the players to make plays. After the game, a reporter asked DJ Moore, like, do you think it's up to the receivers to get more open to help out Baker? And he basically walked out of the interview. I'm telling you, there's a mutiny coming. It wouldn't shock me by the time you listen to this, Matt Rule's been fired because DJ Moore's about to fucking ask for a trade. So I think Matt Rule's in big trouble. I think we all had him for the first coach fired, I'm pretty sure. And I think he's going to be. And I think it could be very soon.
I think I was deciding the Texans were going to have another one and done. But yeah, look, he's certainly on the hot seat because it's not working there. Even like Baker can run with the ball. Like he came out of an air raid spread Lincoln Riley running offense. Like he can run with it. Yeah, he only had two. I honestly don't know if they were attempts or not because I didn't watch the game. Because
that was spread. He gets sacked a lot too. He's under pressure a lot. Like this is the sad part. It's really easy to defend Baker still. So just looking at it, I had Matt Rule. You had Mike McCarthy.
You wrote that down? That was a joke.
I write all of them down.
Well, I wasn't counting on Cooper Rush being a Hall of Famer, was I?
Well, the next Tom Brady. Thank you very much. 4-0 Rush, they call him. He a dog. There's a few good ones there. Ron Rivera, Cliff Kingsbury. Will had Arthur Smith in Atlanta. That's rough as. That's so mean. They're tanking. Anyway, the Cardinals quickly. Yeah.
I mean, a win's a win for them.
Play Isaiah Simmons more. Every time he's in the game, he makes something fucking happen. It honestly baffling to me. Someone could tell me why he's not playing more, please. I may be an idiot here and be just completely blind to it, but every time I watch the Cardinals, Isaiah Simmons makes plays when he's on the field. Every time he's making plays, tackling guys in the back, like every time he's flying around doing stuff. So explain it to me because I don't get it. If you're a Cardinals fan, I don't understand it.
Probably the most positive thing if you're a Cardinals fan is this game was there to be won at halftime after being down, and it was in Carolina, wasn't it? So long road trip, West Coast to East Coast. You were down at the half and you came back and won. Like, yay! Get back on the plane, get the hell out of there.
They also went to design quarterback runs at some points as well.
Nothing wrong with that.
Cliff Kingsbury,
you got a QB who can slide. Do it.
You're gonna get fired, so don't worry about Kyler long term. Worry about look what Buffalo do. Look, Buffalo literally go Josh Allen and his body, his running, his strength. Like, same what the Panthers did with Cam Newton. They go, this guy's strength is this. We're gonna use it, and if it runs out, it runs out. It's better than trying to make him be a pocket passer because I tell you what, he's not, and you're just going to keep losing if you try. So put him in his strengths, let him make plays for you, And if he gets hurt in 3 years, you can sit back and go. And I'm sure he would be
3
like,
years. He gets hurt
Yeah.
every year. So
Yeah,
just do it. Do it till he gets hurt.
do it and win some football
Because
games.
as you rightly point out, he's going to get fired if this keeps happening.
Yeah, just quickly on JJ Watt played really well today. He's still got a bit in him, old JJ. He deflected a pass which got picked, which was an interception, which was pick 6. So he played. He's just, those dudes that just somehow make plays. I don't even know how you get that skill, but he's got it. He's old as fuck, but he's still got it a little bit. Let's talk Raiders. They survive Russell Wilson's cooking. I put cooking in bunny ears. I don't know why I always say bunny ears. It was a win. It was a win Vegas needed.
Big time, to say the least.
Yeah, look, in understatements of the year awards, that's right up there. There was like, if they didn't get it, their season was done. So they're back alive at 1-3. I think with the Chargers winning, Chargers had a really good win over, with their injuries, a good win over the Texans. Herbert was played really well. Eckler was really good.
They got Eckler going. He's done nothing this year.
He was very good. I love Derek Carr. His effort. He just gives such a shit. Like he genuinely wants to fucking win. But I just don't think this team's a great win. They had a couple of really good runs late in the game with Josh Jacobs had a couple of really good runs late where he broke tackles. But
huge fantasy day if you had him.
Yeah, huge fantasy day. 37.5 points, correct? Because Pro Focus give it to me, which is nice. Good work, Collinsworth. Great work. But yeah, like he just gives a shit. And today was the running game they got by. They needed to win. They found a way to win.
I never thought it was in doubt.
Yeah, no, they were always fine. I'm just so disappointed in Russell Wilson and the Broncos offense. I don't know what more to say on it. Their defense is really good. Patrick Surtain is one of the best corners in the league. I really, really, really like Randy Gregory. He just brings some hard edge rush.
Can I put it? Russ can't cook. Could he be done? Is he gone off a cliff? I don't know. I'm asking you. He might. I'd love to go a hot takey and say he's finished.
I think he's done. You can't blame the scheme again. They can't blame the scheme again. He doesn't make rushes miss anymore, and he's short.
And his release looks really slow as well.
I'm not going to pretend.
I feel like I'm watching the whole thing on slow motion.
I think he used to escape the pocket a lot and make plays. He doesn't escape the pocket as much, and he's short as fuck. So he can't see over the line, and that's what used to be his strength. He'd get out of the pocket and then find guys on broken plays. They were where he generated a lot of his big plays, and that's why his deep ball efficiency and all that was so high. In saying that, he had a 124 rating today. He was 17-25. He had 2 touchdowns. The box score tells me he played well. This is what's fucked. I watched this game and I thought Derek Carr played outstanding, and I thought Russell Wilson was dog shit. The box score would tell me right now it's the opposite.
It was the opposite, yeah. Yep.
And I guess that's football, but I think that's why I want to trust my eyes always, because my eyes told me that Derek Carr fucking balled today because he made a few good plays. A few plays that I remember going, that was a nice throw for a first down. That was a big play to get him into field goal range. He avoids but with Russell, I was like, I don't know, just never really. I don't know, Melvin Gordon fumbled twice, I'm pretty sure. Definitely once, and they took one for a touchdown. They had a defensive touchdown as well. First time for 5 years they had a defensive touchdown, which I thought was pretty rare. Adams was good. I said, I don't know what to make of either of these teams. The dumb thing is I still think that one of them could be a playoff team. I genuinely do believe that. I think one of them could be a wild card.
It's only what are the Chiefs on 3-1, and the Raiders the reverse who are last, and the other two are 2-2. So just get on a roll and away you go.
All you got to do is beat the Chargers when you play them next, and you're at half a game behind them.
Well, they play Chargers next week.
Exactly.
The Broncos. I'm sure they do. Then they got the Jets, Jags, and Titans. So we're going to know. We're going to know in 3 weeks.
Week 8, I reckon, is the best time. Halfway is when you really kind of know where everyone's at.
Well, the reason you know is there's a body of work to work with. So you can look at the rest of the schedule and say, oh, they've got, I don't know. Sorry, Bears fans. They've got the Bears in here. That's a win because they're dog shit. you know,
2-2 dog shit,
you
mind
can
you.
you can well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I asked earlier. It's ridiculous. But we'll know by then, like because they could be 2-6
Yes.
by the
Like,
time that
remember when
comes around.
Carolina went for 4-1 and we were like, Carolina are good. They're good. And then
Yep.
we looked at their schedule and we're like, oh, we fucked
Yeah.
this up here. They
Well,
played
that's the thing.
all the
We
crap
did. We
teams.
didn't.
And as it went
Yeah.
on, we realized they'd played all the crap teams early and then they started playing good teams and they were crap. So
We didn't do it last year. This year. We really need to find the quirk of the schedule team, where you're fully
hard to
front
find
loaded.
because the quirk
My
gets discovered by the teams that they play, which sometimes you don't know they're crap until it's too late.
yeah,
You know?
the biggest problem for the Broncos is they've still got 2 games against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
They've still got 2 games against the Chargers. They've got they had a couple of sneaky good AFC teams. So they had the Ravens in there, and then they've got the Rams and the Cardinals. I don't know, man. The problem is their run home. Their run home is Cardinals, Rams, Chiefs, Chargers. Like, if they need to win 3 of those, sorry guys, you're done.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of Chiefs,
Oh. Now, this is one of those ones where if you just looked at the box score, you're like, oh, yeah, it was a close-ish game, high scoring.
it wasn't.
It was not at all. It was a beatdown. Now, I'm going to start making excuses.
Hit me.
Obviously, for those who don't know, the hurricane hit just south of Tampa during the week. Tampa were a team, families, all the rest were all moved out on Monday, went down to Miami, played down, trained, did everything down there, flew back for the game like a day before it, the Saturday, I think, and the families were brought back on the Sunday. Look, kudos to the organization. They flew everybody, dogs, pets, everything. Came with the families and kids and all the rest of it. Like they did a really good job. But Jesus, that must have been distracting. Not training in your
100%.
facility, all these sorts of things. So I'm going to put it out there as an excuse. But that being said, this was over a quarter time. Like it really was. Kudos to the Bucks; they kept fighting, but they were beaten soundly today.
Yeah, they were. Patrick Mahomes was outstanding. If
was
I had to pick
awesome.
the MVP right now from the first 4 games, I think I'd have to go it's him or Allen, but I think he's just been slightly better. They're 3-1. They're so well drilled. They're schemed. How good was their fake motion and the tight end grabbed the snap and then like QB sneaked it from the snap?
Yeah.
That was a cool play. Can we do that at Croydon? That was really cool, actually.
No, because we don't have Mahomes standing under center. We don't have Kelsey when they're talking to each other that you worry about it.
You're right. The only guy we've got that could be comparable is me and the other center of the Chiefs. You're right, Christensen. Me and him are the only one. He's an all-pro center. I would be if I grew up in America. Like it's only geographically that I'm not an NFL all-pro, and I stand by that to the day I die.
Man, talent.
Talent, size, athletic ability. Really, like if you really deep dive into it, it's pretty much fucking everything. Like, let's be honest. I also really like Mike Evans still, and I cannot believe people think he's overrated, and it still blows my fucking mind that people think he's overrated. He won me my fantasy game today. He's outstanding. I love him to death. He's he's my favorite receiver in the league over this long period of time. I love him.
Yeah, his catch radius is exceptional, and he gets drilled when he catches some of these passes, and he always comes up with it.
He got sniped in the end zone too on that. I know he dropped the touchdown, but fuck, he got sniped. People were like, "Oh, that's not a penalty." Like, you cannot lower your shoulder and go through a guy who's not looking at you, who hasn't caught the ball, and you could see he hasn't caught the ball. You can't run through a defenseless player, whether you hit him in the head or not. Like, I wish it was 1980 as well, but it's not. Like, you can't just run through dudes anymore. People are dying. Anyway, Mike Evans is a freak show. They need to be more dynamic on offense. They need to find a way. Their offensive line isn't very good though. Like, other than the 2 tackles are okay, but their center and guards are struggling, and they're all backups. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Like when Jensen went down, you and I talked about it. People just don't understand how important the center and the quarterback's relationship is so important. If there is even an element of mistrust, it's so hard to get anything done. Those two have to be locked in and know what is going on, be on the same page, be seeing the same things, and they're
My
just
quarterback
not.
of football lets me know when he shits. Jake, you always let me know. You're like, hey, bud, I'm just doing a poo. I'm like, hey, I got you, man. Good luck. You need me to come and just pass out that door in case someone comes in? Like, you just let me know. I'll come. I'll get bull rushed and destroyed, but I'll be in the way. That's all that matters sometimes. It's not all that matters. You need to be good. Let's move on and get away from Tampa Bay. I think they'll bounce back next week, Richie. I wouldn't worry. Tampa Bay will win the division still comfortably. It's such a dog shit division. I think 10 wins will win it. And then you
Yeah.
get Brady in the playoffs. And what have we always said? Brady in the playoffs? I wouldn't want to play him. Let's talk
He has more
upset
playoff wins than most other quarterbacks who are active have wins.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you've heard, Rich, but most people consider him the greatest athlete of all time. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know? Did you not know him before Tampa Bay? He was at the New England Patriots for a few years.
Oh, really? Was he any good?
Yeah, he cheated a bit, but he was okay.
Won a bit.
Cheat.
Won a bit. Cheated a bit.
I think he won a Super Bowl every second year. I think that's his calling card. Well,
Ridiculous. Still ridiculous.
Solid.
So stupid.
Solid, if not excellent. Upset of the week. We don't spend much time on this. We talked Falcons before, but Falcons 23 over the Browns. I kind of felt this loss there was maybe not this week, but I felt there was a loss like this coming for the Browns where it kind of caught up with him. Did Myles Garrett play because he had a car accident?
Yeah, that was all kind of suspect.
Yeah, was it not suspect? Oh, you hit a random wild animal. It's like, yeah, turn it up to 11, mate. I'm not buying it. He's not in the stat sheet. So I'm going to go on a limb.
Did you notice the report said with an unidentified woman? Like, where do you want my imagination to go?
I wasn't going to talk about it, but let's just talk about this. He dog. He up to no good. He was definitely up to no good in that car.
He was definitely up to no good.
And you know what? Whatever, man. Do what you got to do. Live your own life, King. Live your own life. I don't care. I don't judge anyone anymore. Do what you want. Yeah, Falcons win. They find a way. I asked you before, and we had a quick chat about it. Is Kyle Pitts a bust? And we actually looked at a bit of the stats of the team. He's only like 70 yards behind the top receiver, who's Drake London, who's the rookie. So, and if he continues on for the next 18 games, he'll end up almost having 1,000-yard season as a tight end. So, I don't think calling him a bust is fair. He'd have an 800-yard season if he continues on the way he's going, which most tight ends would sign up for any day of the week. Has he been as impactful as what everyone wants him to be? In particular, me on my fantasy team? No, he hasn't been. But what did you say? If he played at Tampa Bay, if he played at Buffalo, if he played at the Chiefs, what would he be? He'd be Travis fucking Kelce. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, he certainly has that talent, and it's just unfortunate he's not a team with not a lot of talent around him. So he's getting attention that, I don't know, if that was, I don't know, who's a former tight end for them, Hooper, he would never get that kind of attention.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah,
Who
only because
a big contract, 600 yards a year, massive contract from the Browns, 600 yards a year. So I give him time.
It's only because it's him.
I think he's a unicorn.
Take him fourth overall.
Yeah, I think he's a unicorn. I don't think there's anyone. I've never seen anyone as fast and big as him. So I just refuse to believe that he's going to be a bust right now. If he's doing this in 2 years' time, then I'm like, he's maybe a bust for a top 4 pick, but he's just going to be a solid receiving tight end forever. Like, guys take time. Kelce wasn't dominant straight away. Gronk wasn't. Jason Witten wasn't. Gonzalez wasn't. They all take a couple of years because the tight end's a really hard position. It's really, really hard. So that's where I'm at. Well done, Atlanta, though. You're surprising a lot of teams. You're 2-2. Mariota's doing the job. I'm worried they're going to win too much. They're going to ruin the tank with Mariota. Stop being a gun, man. If you did this at the Titans, you'd still be there, you know?
Well, Mariota's still Mariota. Yeah, their next 3 games are Buccaneers, 49ers, and Cincinnati. They could lose all 3, and before you know it, they're 2-5, and they are what they were. So
Mariota was 7 of 19 for 139 yards and 1 interception with a 41. Like, Jacoby Brissett was so much better than him, and Nick Chubb was good. I think this is one of those games again where like a bad team just found a way to win. Like the Browns had 100 more offensive yards than them. only had one more turnover.
Well, as you said earlier,
10 minutes more possession. 10 minutes more time of possession.
Yeah. Chubb basically, Franz Eckler on my team, Chubb would have won me my week. So, he just does that. 100 yards and a touchdown. It's a standard Sunday afternoon for him. Like, that's just how good he is. They just have to tread water, go 500 until
the
Mr. Touchy gets back. And,
Was he touchy or was he picture? No, he was like, you touchy me.
Yeah. So,
piece of shit.
Look, he is, but when he gets back, he is a good football player. So that's what they have to get to.
It's not long.
So they're gonna drop games like this because, let's not kid ourselves. If Brissett was any good, he'd be a locked-in starter. He's not. He is a competent NFL quarterback. That's it. Those guys are backups, and they're backups for a reason. This job is hard.
And Amari Cooper did his favorite thing. Then after a couple of big weeks of fantasy, he gives you one catch for 9 yards. So if you're in a non-PPR league, he got you 0.
Yeah.
Enjoy that shit. And there would have been dudes like Cooper's. He's the man there. They're playing the Falcons. They're a terrible defense. 0. So suck it.
You could have just started somebody who was out for the week to get the same result.
I'm a real fickle motherfucker, Richie. I'm on CD Lamb now. I literally tweeted after he dropped a catch last week that I think CD Lamb's shit, and I wish we'd kept Cooper. And from then, he's had like 480 catches and 3 touchdowns. And I'm like, yeah. Now I'm turning the narrative with that's what I was going for. I wanted to. I knew he saw it. He was on the bench, and he's like,
reverse jinx.
Got him. I reverse jinxed him. We have to spend a ton of time on this one. I want to talk about the Tua incident. We said it was bullshit when they said it was his back. All I want to say on it is, if you think the NFL give a fuck about their players, you are wrong, and you will always be wrong. That's the bottom line. They care about winning. That's it.
The biggest thing here, though, is it's an independent neurologist. I just can't comprehend how they would get it.
From the
independent.
No, I believe that there's 32
you're wrong.
independents from the team. Because he got fired by the Miami Dolphins.
No, they fired their team doctor.
Oh, okay, because he signs off on it too. Okay. So how did they? They're still looking into it, but the brain's a funny thing, and no one knows how. We still don't know how it works very well. And neurologists say that they say that if you look at the way we know knees now, like how they fix knees and repair knees, they're pretty flawless at it now. The way they execute it. They think that the way they look at brains is the way that we looked at knees in like the 1960s. Now, you were alive back then, Richie. What was it like when you were
Fuck off.
That was a long setup. But the bottom line is they do not know how brains work yet. And they don't know the trauma. They want to just taken 10 years off this guy's life. And we all knew he was concussed. Oh, it was his back. And that's the worst. Mike McDaniels, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but
he said the wrong thing.
You should have just said, I don't know. He cleared.
All he should have said was, my understanding is he was cleared by the independent and our team doctors. So I put him back in.
Instead, what he did is he knew that he was concussed. He knew that they cleared him when they shouldn't have cleared him. So he tried to fucking make up some dumb story. You know what he sounded like now listening back? He sounded like when you catch a kid doing something wrong, like your 4-year-old doing something wrong. And they make up this story that you're like, this is almost like so outrageous that I want to believe it. Like, this is so stupid. Like, you're so obviously making this up. A dragon didn't come in and steal your water bottle while you're at school, mate. Like, I know there's dragons don't fucking exist. Now, when you listen back to Mike McDaniels, you're like, he knows he is just telling a blatant lie. That's why he's so uncomfortable with the conversation. You're right. He should have just come out and said, look, from all I know, he cleared. And he's fine.
He was cleared.
I'm
not a neurologist. He was cleared. I put him back.
He lied, and lying is an admission of guilt sometimes. If you ask me, you don't lie because you think that. You lie because you're like, oh, I'll cover my ass here. I'll say it was his back from the quarterback sneak. Fuck up, idiot. Either way, he was concussed. They let him play 4 days later. terrible look for the NFL, but it'll blow over because some player will punch a chick or something soon, and it'll all blow over again. That'll be the next story. But they need to seriously look like if you're not gonna look after your players, just don't act like it. Just don't
the
have
other thing.
let them make the decision if they want to play or not.
And that's the thing. I don't want to victim blame. No. Tua shouldn't have played either. Like, you got to be smart sometimes and say, you know what? I am not right. And if my team lose without me, so be it. But
you're a footballer, like Richie. Me and you were not elite football players or elite athletes in any way, but we've played at clubs for a very long time. We've been a part of teams for a very long time. It is impossible to stay out of yourself in that moment. It's impossible to have that perspective of, like I remember a few years ago, I was taking fucking endones before games because my shoulder was fucked. And I just thought, I'll just take an endo and I'll be fine. And then my wife found out and was like, you are a moron. You were just masking up injury. You're going to fuck your shoulder. Like, it's going to be even worse. Now, I was lucky. It obviously wasn't that bad because it healed in the off season and I was good. But think about it, what a dickhead. But in the moment, I'm like, no, they need me to play. I got to play. This lets me play. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play. Now, no doctor would have given me those tablets. There was one of the guys would give it. It's stupidity. Stupid. But in the moment, if I'd had a team doctor that came in and went, you're a dickhead, your shoulder's hurt, you're not playing. You're taking 2 weeks off till it's healed, and then you'll be fine. But no player has that mindset. And that's why the NFL put all these people in position to do the right thing that clearly haven't. There's no way they escape this. And if Tua wants to sue him, he could absolutely take him to town for this. Absolutely take him to town. The Dolphins as well. And it could cost Mike McDaniels his jobs because obviously Sean Payton wants to come back and they need an excuse. So that'll do.
He's going to the Cowboys.
Scapegoat McDaniels. Quickly, Monday Night Football. Good game, actually. I couldn't think all day I knew it was the Rams. I couldn't remember who they were playing, but Rams at 49ers, division game. This is always a good game. They're always close to Rams and 49ers. 49ers normally win a lot. Who are you taking, I guess? Who you got?
Rams. I don't trust Jimmy.
Give me Niners because Jimmy's just hot as fuck. And when I look him in the eyes, I think he's a winner. And I'm looking at a picture of him right now, and he's magnificent. He's everything I wish I was and can never be. Everything. He's beautiful. So, yeah, give me Jimmy. I'm basically Kyle Shanahan. That's the only reason he's on the team still. Because all seriousness, that game last week, Denver and 49ers, I know the defense has made some good plays, but shit, the quarterback play was dreadful. Dreadful. It was. I enjoy it because I actually like those sorts of games. I don't know why. I wouldn't like them every week.
Too much.
No, I think because they're rare, it makes me like them.
I've actually decided the perfect game is like 28, 24.
Yeah, that's like honestly, I think that my ideal game was anything Cooper Rush is in. Because that motherfucker's he a dog. DAWG dog. That's what he is. Give me the Rams though. Rams on the road. I don't think the 49ers make the playoffs. I don't know.
It's headed that way.
Are they 1-3 or are they 2-2?
They're 2-2.
Yeah. It's a big game for them, the Niners.
I'm pretty sure. Now I'm double checking because I don't trust myself.
It's a big. It's going to 2 and 3.
Oh, they are 1-2. I'd already given them the win.
There's a big difference between 2-2 and 1-3. A big difference.
2 games.
Yep, 2 games. Correct. That's it from us tonight. Thank you to our sponsors, Burnley Brewing and US Sports Gear. All their details are in the post. Go to our Instagram. If you're listening on the podcast and you watch YouTube, go to our YouTube and give us a follow there. It's funny watching Richie read the things I put up on the screen and then laughing before he starts talking about them. So go and do that. It's very enjoyable. So thank you to our sponsors. Richie, thank you to you as always. Sunday night show will be back this week. We took the week off and it's a really easy reason. I played my first game and I was rat shit and the NRL grand final was on and I fell asleep watching it because it was so shit because NRL's crap. That's the truth. So that's why we didn't have the Sunday night show. Me and Corey will be back this week. He did put up 5 prop bets and off the top of my head, I think he hit all 5 of them. So Corey he's a good gambler. He's like, you know what? It's not even gambling if all you do is win. That's what Corey does. All he does is win. So, and if you do gamble responsibly, always remember that. Richie, thank you as always. See you next week, everyone.